Good afternoon to all the members sitting here. I believe it's a divine blessing of God Almighty to be a part of this momentous occasion in the capacity of chief guest and also in the capacity of administrative judge of Bhadrachalam district, and to inaugurate the common waiting halls 1 and 2 in the premises of Principal District Court Complex at Kottagudem, Bhadradi, Kottagudem district this morning. Honorable Acting Chief Justice of Telangana State, Sujay Paul Garu, all the senior judges of our High Court of Telangana, the sons of the soil, Honorable Justice Nagesh Bhima Paka Garu and Honorable Justice K. Sharad Garu, in absentia, and the respected Vasant Patil Garu, Sri Jitesh Patil Garu, Sri B. Rohit Raj Garu, the respected President of the esteemed Bar Association, Kottagudem, L. Satnarayan Garu, all the body of the Bar Association of Kottagudem, all the respected judicial officers of this district, all the staff working in the courts of the Bhadrachalam, Kottagudem, print press media, my staff who has come all the way from Hyderabad, all the lady advocates sitting here, all the elder members of the bar, print press media, one and all. First of all, a very happy International Women's Day to all the women sitting here. Though I am one day late in wishing you all, but I thought because you are all here, I would want to wish you all. And also to all the women judicial officers, and also all the men sitting here in relation to all the women associated in their lives. The respected district judge has spoken many words about me. It was very kind of him. And I do, before this august gathering, not only thank God Almighty, but also, as rightly pointed out by the district judge, the then Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice N.V. Ramana Garu, and the then Collegium, as rightly pointed out, which had cleared my name, Honorable Justice Hima Koeli Madam, the first Chief Justice of Telangana High Court, Honorable Justice M.S. Ramchandra Rao Garu, and Honorable Justice Rajshekhar Reddy Garu. And now, insofar as the present occasion is concerned, in our freedom movement, the prominent freedom fighters like Dada Bhai Naroji, Surendranath Banerjee, Madan Mohan Malviya ji, and Motilal Nehru ji were all lawyers by profession. The eminent lawyers used their legal knowledge to save many nationalists and revolutionaries from the clutches of the British. The father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji, our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, our first President and Chairman of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Rajendra Prasad ji, the first Governor General Sri C. Rajgopalachari ji, and the Chairman of the Drafting Commission of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ji, were also eminent lawyers. Perhaps it is the understanding of law and its relation to society that prompted the foundation to at least ensure that it is maintained and no dent is created in it. People of this country have great trust and faith in the judiciary. That faith is our strength. It has to be maintained at every cost. It is often remarked that justice delayed is justice denied. And to that effect, a backlog of cases also harms rule of law in India. While I wholeheartedly support structural reforms to reduce this backlog, I still think a lot can be done otherwise. For instance, the former Chief Justice of India, Sri Justice Kapadia gave an important suggestion that focus should be made on the expeditious disposal of those cases which are more than 5 years old. 5 plus free should be the initiative. Justice H.R. Kanaji, in his Tagore Law lectures in 1985, said that the greatest asset and the strongest weapon in the armory of the judiciary is the confidence it commands and the faith it inspires in the minds of the people. The common man considers the judiciary as the ultimate guardian of his rights and liberties. No institution can take for granted the respect of the community. It has high expectations and constantly demands proof of its utility. If problem of delay is not tackled now, it can shake people's faith. Not only does the use of technology make our courts more accountable and responsive, but it also brings people closer to the courtroom. The use of technology is in fact linked to the values of transparency, democracy, and equitable access to justice. With hybrid hearings, lawyers can now appear before courts across the country, ensuring that the best legal representation is accessible to our citizens. Significantly, even litigants can now log into their hearings and witness proceedings firsthand. Thus, transparency is ensured. The robust legal technology brings efficiency and effectiveness at every stage of the criminal justice system. Artificial intelligence can aid in case management, case documentation, and enhancing courtroom efficiently. Blockchain technology could be brought into use to increase the transparency and accountability of law enforcement agencies. Blockchain technology could be used to securely store and authenticate digital evidence. The recorded digital evidence should be uploaded on the blockchain ledger, ensuring no tampering occurs, and if tampering occurs, still it is traceable. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, our former president, said, if people lose respect for law and respect for the courts which administer law, it will be a bad day. It is essential for the country to respect law, for the government of the country to respect law, and for the courts to maintain the sanctity and purity of the legal administration and dispensation of justice. That is absolutely necessary if the rule of law has to be continued in this country. With the enactment of large number of laws, the volume of work in courts has increased enormously. People have become more and more aware of their rights and are no longer willing to submit to arbitrariness anywhere. It is necessary to re-evaluate the functioning of the judiciary and to bring about a qualitative change in the justice delivery system so as to bring in tune with the hopes and aspirations of the people. The judiciary has to devise new methods, forge new tools, and innovate new strategies for the purpose of reaching social justice to the common man. Today, the judiciary is being increasingly called upon to enforce the basic human rights of the poor and the deprived ones, and this new development is making the judiciary a dynamic and an important institution of the state. Let us always remember the great words of Magna Carta: to none shall be denied justice, to none shall be delayed justice, to none shall be sell justice. Besides increasing number of judges in a phased manner at all levels, as a first step, it is absolutely imperative to fill existing vacancies at all levels in the shortest possible period. Filling of vacancies, particularly in district courts, has to be an ongoing process. Systems have to be developed. State must provide necessary infrastructure and staff to implement these steps. No adjournment culture has to be developed by courts. Priorities have to be fixed. For every case and every step, time schedule has to be fixed and followed. We also have to discipline ourselves. Awareness about legal rights, both procedural and substantial rights, is an essential prerequisite for ensuring access to justice. As former Chief Justice of India, Sri Justice Y.K. Sabarwalji said, the poor and the deprived often remain so and are unable to seek redress simply because they are not at all aware of the rights guaranteed to them and the remedies that are available. Justice H.R. Kanaji, eminent former Supreme Court judge, opined in an article that rule of law suffers when prisoners and those under arrest are subjected to humiliation. The lower judiciary can play a proactive role in preventing the same. Take the case of bail, for instance. It was found in case of Husainiya Khatun versus State of Bihar that a lot of under trial prisoners had been in prison for a term exceeding the maximum punishment prescribed for the offence they had been charged with. The Supreme Court observed in the said case as follows: it is a travesty of justice that many who are accused, little Indians, are forced into long cellular servitude for little offences because the bail procedure is beyond their meagre means. In such situations, judges of the lower judiciary should adopt a different approach in consonance with the Supreme Court decisions. The Supreme Court in Sheila Barse versus Union of India, reported in 1986, Volume 3 SEC, page 596, remarked that legal assistance to poor and indigent accused is sine qua non of justice. If not provided, leads to injustice, and it corrodes foundation of democracy and rule of law. This is merely affirming the important goal envisaged in Article 39A of the Constitution, which states that states shall secure to every citizen justice, and justice will not be denied to any citizen on reason of economic or other disabilities. Effort should be made to ensure that litigation is closed at the first stage itself. This would relieve the higher judicial fora from additional burden. Plea bargaining and mediation has the potential to close litigation at the initial stages. In the recent case of Sonadar versus State of Chhattisgarh, an Apex Court Division Bench opined that convicts who have completed 10 years of sentence, whose appeals won't be heard soon, should be released on bail unless there are other reasons. I would conclude by appealing to all stakeholders, judges, lawyers, governments, both at the state level and at the center, to do everything possible to provide to the common man speedy and inexpensive justice. We must remember that in the final analysis, the strength and failure of our judicial system lies in its utility and credibility as a necessary organ of the state in a civilized society. The respect it would evoke and the confidence it would inspire would depend upon the way it satisfies the hopes and the aspirations of the people, of the common man in the quest for justice, in keeping the scales, even in any legal combat, between the rich and the poor, between the mighty and the weak, between the state and the citizen, without fear or favor. I remember, and I also assure the respected president of Kottagadam district, who has given me a list of requests for appointment of regular presiding officer for the post of First Additional District and Session Judge Kottagadam, request for regular presiding officer for the POCSO Court Kottagadam, request for appointment of Additional Senior Civil Judge Kottagadam, appointment of Principal Junior Civil Judge Kottagadam and Third Additional Junior Civil Judge at Kottagadam, shifting of First Additional Judicial Magistrate of First Class Court, including to the main court building complex, SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act and Judge Family Court to be established at Kottagadam, to initiate for construction of new court complex building at Kottagadam, and appointment of regular judicial officer to the agency court. Sir, definitely I will put forth all your requests within 1 week in writing before the Honorable Acting Chief Justice. I thank all the organizers for all the efforts they have taken in making this program a grand success. I have seen all the efforts since morning of all the judicial officers, right from yesterday evening and also today. I thank all of you for the patient hearing. Jai Hind.